On February 2nd, the 5th day of the Lunar New Year, a fan page named Japan Travel, Shopping and Culinary Intelligence posted a shocking news item. A major Taiwanese star has passed away. An official announcement will follow soon. This star was 48 years old, stood at 69 inches tall, weighed 152 pounds, and reportedly died from Japanese flu. Subsequent details revealed that the star was a female actress known from the era of Meteor Garden, and her current husband was a foreigner. All these signs pointed towards Barbie Hsu, also known as Da-S. However, since the fan page provided no concrete evidence, and no one wanted to invite bad luck during the new year, many netizens criticized the editor for spreading baseless rumors. The admin of the page later posted that within a few days, everyone in Taiwan would have to apologize to him, adding that he was providing information for free and being unfairly criticized. That very night, numerous media outlets tried to contact Barbie Hsu's family and friends, but received no responses. Her sister, Di Hsu, also known as Xiao S, did not answer calls, although messages were seen but not replied to. Meanwhile, Da-S's ex-husband, Wang Xiaofei, suddenly changed his social media profile picture to black, further fueling rumors. It wasn't until the next day that Xiao S, heartbroken, informed the media that during their New Year vacation in Japan, her beloved and kind-hearted sister, Da-S, had unfortunately passed away due to flu complications and pneumonia. She expressed gratitude for having the chance to be sisters with her, to care for and be with each other, promising to always remember and love her sister, wishing her peace in the afterlife. Subsequently, Da-S's mentor, Wang Weizhong, issued a statement on behalf of her mother, thanking everyone for their concern, but explaining that the Zhu family was currently in deep sorrow and unable to take calls or provide detailed explanations, asking for understanding and time to grieve. Da-S's husband, Jun-yup, known by his stage name DJ Ku, also mournfully confirmed his wife's death to South Korean media, clarifying that this was not a hoax. When asked, "How are you feeling?" by the press, he replied with a trembling voice, "I'm not doing well." At this point, fans were forced to accept the harsh reality that Da-S had truly passed away. The woman who once proudly declared in Meteor Garden, "Though you see me as a weed, I will tell you, you can never uproot me," Sam Tai, had left at the age of 48. Why did Barbie Hsu leave us so suddenly? Why do some say she forgot herself? Today we'll explore her Truman Show life. At the end of this episode, we'll review the master astrologers who accurately predicted Barbie Hsu's life path. Looking back, it turns out her life was filled with numerous prophetic words. Stay tuned to the end of the video to see what they were. You're watching True Crime in the World, where we delve into the most mysterious cases, the most thrilling stories you might never have heard. As usual, before we dive into today's video, don't hesitate to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to support us. Now let's delve deeper into this incident. On January 29th, 2025, Barbie Hsu, along with her family, traveled to Japan for a vacation. That evening, they went to Hakone for a hot spring bath. There were reports that Da-S showed symptoms of coughing and asthma right from the day they set off, so for the next 2 days, January 30th and 31st, she stayed in her room without going out. However, on the night of January 31st, her condition deteriorated, necessitating an ambulance to rush her to the emergency room. But the hospital did not admit her for treatment and instead sent her back to her accommodation. On February 1st, the tour guide took the Hsu family to Tokyo. After checking at a small clinic, they moved to a larger hospital where she was finally diagnosed with influenza A. However, the Tokyo hospital also did not admit her but prescribed medication for her to take at home. That evening on February 1st, Xiao S shared a video of her and their mother joyfully dancing in their hotel suite. Perhaps in Xiao S's eyes, her sister was just suffering from a common cold. In the early hours of February 2nd, Da-S's condition worsened again, prompting another emergency call for an ambulance. This time, after a few hours of resuscitation efforts, she passed away around 7 a.m. that morning. Initially, it was reported that the direct cause of Da-S's death was pneumonia complicated by the flu, but this was later corrected to sepsis. The blood infection led to Dares's multi-organ failure, causing her death in a short time. Dr. Lin Weiwen, a flu expert from Taiwan, explained that infections in the lungs or intestines could lead to sepsis. Bacteria release toxins that cause blood vessels to dilate, so the most obvious signs of sepsis include fever, widespread redness, and low blood pressure. If not treated promptly, sepsis can progress to septic shock and multi-organ failure, with a very high mortality rate. After the news about DRS was released, several netizens made harsh comments directed at Xiao S, arguing that on February 1st, while DRS was on the brink of life and death, Xiao S posted a video of herself and their mother dancing happily, seemingly indifferent to her sister's condition. However, in fairness, the deep bond between the Hsu sisters was clear to all. Xiao S might not have imagined that a simple flu could take her sister's life. According to Weekly Mirror, after DRS was rushed to the hospital for the last time, Xiao S did not leave her side for a moment. She stayed by her sister until the doctors declared the resuscitation unsuccessful, at which point she collapsed and wept inconsolably in the hospital. Previously, DRS had revealed on a show that she had made a special promise with her sister. At the end of her life, Xiao S must be there to witness what she would do in her final moments. In 2015, DRS and Xiao S appeared together on the show Kang Shi Lai Lo, sharing amusing anecdotes from their pregnancies. Xiao S mentioned how her sister, when pregnant with her daughter, Xiao Yu'er, was constantly worried about her child's health. Puzzled, Xiao S said, "Why do you worry so much? Your child will definitely be healthy." After being pressed by her sister, DRS recounted an event from 10 years prior. In 2005, when Xiao S was expecting her first child, the initial blood test results suggested there was a high chance of the baby being unhealthy. Seeing her sister's extreme worry, DRS prayed silently, "Please let my sister have a healthy child. If the Hsu family must have an unhealthy child, let it be mine." There was also a time when Xiao S said to DRS on the show, "Sister, do you know why I have to call you every time I film a crying scene? Because I found out that in this whole wide world, the person I care about and love the most is you. Now I have a husband and kids, but you always make me feel particularly anxious. I really love you so much. I suspect that in our past life, we were lovers or husband and wife. Otherwise, I don't know why our love is so deep." The last time DRS appeared in public was on January 25th, 2025, where she and her husband, Jun-yup, attended a celebration for the daughter of producer Wang Wei-jong getting married. Media reports noted that she looked rosy and healthy at the time. Why does the media always pay special attention to DRS's health? It's because DRS's health has never been robust. She has a history of epilepsy and also suffers from mitral valve prolapse. In her early years, to become beautiful, she didn't spare her health, earning her the title of beauty queen in the entertainment industry. DRS, whose real name is Barbie Hsu, was born on October 6, 1976, in Taipei. She has two sisters. DRS is the second child, with an older sister, Hsu Shi-yan, 2 years her senior, and the familiar Xiao S, who is 2 years younger than DRS. DRS grew up in a complex family environment where her father was an alcoholic, gambler, and abusive towards her mother. She and her sisters often hid in corners crying, but it was DRS who stood up to criticize her father's wrongdoing. When DRS was 14, her father left, overwhelmed by debts, disappearing without a trace. From then on, she shouldered the burden of supporting her family, becoming the debt-carrying girl. Later, Tai Kang-yong summed up that the greatest characteristic of Barbie Hsu is that she does not want to surrender to fate. Due to her striking appearance, DRS began taking on short advertisements while still in high school. In 1993, at 17, DRS and 15-year-old Xiao S officially debuted as the music group S, logically renamed ASOS. This path to fame was far from easy from the start. In 1994, they released their first music album. By 1996, their first big opportunity arrived. The famous producer Wang Wei-jong approached them, tailoring a variety show called Entertainment 100% for them. Later, Tai Kang-yong described this program as Taiwan's version of The Truman Show because no one had previously aired all of their personal trivialities for public consumption. For the 8 years Da-S and Xiao-S hosted Entertainment 100%, the show was almost non-stop, documenting the personal lives of the two sisters, including Da-S's relationships with Ku Jun-yup, Lam Zhenglong, and Zhu Yudan, all reflected in the show. Although they were criticized for their unrestrained speech, the show's viewership ratings always topped the charts. During this time, Da-S and Xiao-S, along with Jackie Wu, hosted another famous variety show called I Guess, I Guess, I Guess, laying the foundation for their status in the hosting industry. In 2001, another opportunity came for Da-S. At 25, she was cast as the lead, Sam Tai, in Meteor Garden. This drama later became famous across Taiwan and China, earning Da-S a nomination for Best Actress at the Taiwan Golden Bell Awards. Following this, she starred in several hit idol dramas like The Return of the Condor Heroes, War God, maintaining her popularity like the midday sun. Da-S also ventured into cinema, but with little success. Films like The House of Dragon and Phoenix, The Whole City is in Love, despite having strong casts, were not well received, earning her the title of Queen of Bad Movies. In 2011, after marrying Wang Xiaofei, Da-S gradually withdrew from the entertainment industry. However, in the years leading up to her marriage, while she was relentlessly filming and hosting, Da-S pushed herself to the extreme. She often had to juggle filming and hosting shows, becoming so exhausted that she would collapse into a fever and be hospitalized, yet she wouldn't rest properly. She would adjust the IV drip to the fastest rate when the doctors weren't looking to get back to the set quickly. Moreover, to appear perfect on camera, her diet and body management were extremely strict. Da-S had an almost obsessive concern with maintaining her beauty and figure. She adhered to a strict diet and exercise regime, virtually fixated on her weight, always maintaining the belief that for film roles, she should weigh exactly 42 kilograms, and for TV or hosting, 44 kilograms. This, she believed, was when she looked her best on screen. To maintain her physique, for a long time, she ate only one meal a day for breakfast, consisting solely of soy milk and eggs. On this, she casually remarked, "If I really have no strength left, I'll buy some side dishes, eat a couple of mouthfuls of white rice with them, then drink half a can of Diet Coke." Da-S was also very particular about skin whitening, so much so that after being called dark-skinned by a close friend, she would rather take blood-thinning medication to appear lighter. The side effect was that even the slightest bump would leave her bruised and with hematomas. When younger, Da-S had long, glossy black hair down to her waist. As we all know, she treasured her hair. Her boyfriend wasn't even allowed to casually put an arm around her shoulders for fear of messing it up. In 2004, Da-S published a book titled Beauty Queen, detailing her beauty secrets. This book became a beauty Bible for teenagers in the post-90s generation, reprinted 7 times within 2 weeks, with sales exceeding 800,000 copies. Da-S once described her control over her body like this: "My brain is like a tyrannical official, constantly pushing my body to work at the fastest pace and with the highest efficiency. If injured, then heal. If sick, then take medicine quickly. As long as my body can still function, that's all that matters." Such a lifestyle undoubtedly took a significant toll on Da-S's health. In an exclusive interview with Person magazine in 2018, Da-S said she wasn't afraid of aging, viewing death as a return to eternity. She hoped not to live too long, stating, "I came to this world to fast forward through life. In this life, I must live the lives of 8 others, after which I won't return." In earlier TV interviews, Da-S also mentioned believing in the existence of deities, and that the afterlife was beautiful, thus she had no fear of death. No matter the difficulty, she could move forward because at worst, she would just leave this world forever. Her greatest support was, "No matter what difficulties I face, I can move on. I just feel, follow my heart, do what I want." Da-S always possessed an uncalculated, fearless drive to move forward. This strength was evident not only in her career, but also in her relationships. In some of her romances, she was known for her passionate love and hate. At 17, Da-S met her first love, Chen Jianzhou. She was the acknowledged beauty queen of the Taipei Huagang Art School, and Chen, a 1.89-meter tall basketball player, fell in love with her at first sight. However, their romance lasted only a year. Chen later candidly admitted, "I was too immature," while she knew exactly what she wanted. After their breakup, they became a rare example of amicable exes in the entertainment world. Chen Jianzhou and his wife, Fan Weiki, have always maintained a close relationship with Da-S's family. In 1998, the Korean wave swept through Asia, and the Korean group Cool Dragon came to Taiwan for a concert. After watching, Da-S immediately became an ardent fan of group member Jun-yup. She invited Koo to appear on Entertainment 100% and even learned Korean to communicate with him. Koo felt an inexplicable attraction to Da-S from their first meeting, calling her his ideal type. They quickly fell in love. When their feelings were at their peak, Da-S got a tattoo of the character Q on her ankle, as Q in Chinese and Koo in Korean refer to the same character. On the show, Da-S expressed to Koo Jun-yup, "I hope he will marry me. I feel that as long as I move him with my sincerity, there shouldn't be any problem." Koo responded, "I am very sincere. I hope she will marry me." However, this relationship ultimately ended due to pressure from Koo's management company. Koo denied the relationship on the show, and Da-S, wiping away tears, removed the tattoo, leaving only the words, "Some people are only meant to live in memories." But no one could have guessed that 24 years later, they would continue this fated romance. After that, Da-S was in a relationship with Lam Zhenglong for 5 years. After their breakup, she started dating Zhu Yudan, and they were together until 2009. Later, on the show Luo Yu Yue, Da-S said, with the gentlest tone but the strongest words, "My emotions are very loud, but when they end decisively. If my reason tells me this person isn't right, I won't drag it out, even if I suffer a lot in heartbreak for a while after the breakup." In 2010, Da-S met Wang Xiaofei. They knew each other for only about 20 days, and by their 4th meeting, Wang proposed to her. Da-S accepted with joy, and they officially got engaged on October 28, 2010. On November 16th, they secretly registered their marriage in Chaoyang District, Beijing. The following March, they held their wedding in Sanya. The top Taiwanese star married one of the Beijing's 4 young masters. This was a wedding that shook Taiwan at the time. Not only were the bride and groom the stars, but each guest was also a protagonist. The venue was filled with advertisements and sponsorships. Wang Xiaoming was late by over 5 hours because he wanted a first-class seat. Liu Qian was pushed into the pool by Ella, with poker cards flying everywhere. Cao Xingtong promoted his new movie and album on stage. Wu Qingfeng cried while saying no one liked him. Da-S's mother-in-law, Zhang Lan, performed a jazz drum solo, and the entire comedy was live-streamed by Zhang Zhaoyang on Weibo, with images and text. After discovering this, Wang Xiaofei had a fierce argument with him, which later escalated to a court case. But for Da-S, the real challenge wasn't the wedding day, but adapting to her new identity after marriage. 15 years prior, Da-S's beloved dog fell seriously ill. To help it recover quickly, she prayed and vowed to become vegetarian for a year if the pet survived. The dog indeed recovered, and after a year of vegetarianism, Da-S grew to love the habit. For 15 years, she didn't touch any non-vegetarian food. However, after marrying Wang Xiaofei, they decided to have a child. To change her body's resistance to conception, Barbie Hsu broke her 15-year vegetarian habit, starting with a bowl of chicken soup given by her mother-in-law, Zhang Lan, returning to a meat-inclusive diet. At an older age, she also had to take strong ovulation-inducing medications. But after 2 years of trying, there was still no good news. About this, Da-S had once called her sister in despair, saying, "I probably won't have my own child in this lifetime." Fortunately, perseverance paid off, and in 2013, she finally became pregnant, giving birth to their daughter, Wang Xiyue, commonly called Xiao Yue'er, in April the following year. The pregnancy and childbirth caused Da-S's weight to increase significantly, making her so anxious that she didn't dare leave the house for a long time, jokingly calling herself a seal. On May 14, 2016, Da-S's son, Wang Xilin, was born. During childbirth, she suddenly suffered an epileptic seizure, stopped breathing, and was rushed to the ICU. In that critical moment, her only thought was to see her daughter, Xiao Yuer. The doctors allowed Dares's mother to bring Xiao Yuer into the ICU to visit her. Dares later recounted, "At that time, I couldn't open my eyes. Everything was blurry, but as soon as I saw Xiao Yuer, my eyes lit up. I felt my daughter pulled me back from the gates of death." After that incident, Dares's weight dropped from 68 kilograms to her desired 58 kilograms. She also came to realize, life and death are fated. Wealth and honor are destined by heaven. From then on, she lived each day as if it were her last. In 2018, Dares wanted to have a third child, but during prenatal checkups, it was discovered that the fetus was not developing properly. Following the doctor's advice, she and her family discussed and decided to terminate the pregnancy. In the same year, Dares and Wang Xiaofei participated in the mainland variety show Happiness Trio. For the first time, their life as a married couple was shown on camera. Dares's shrimp peeling theory became a hot search topic. On the show, she said, "Eating shrimp absolutely requires a man to peel them for you." She added that after marrying Wang Xiaofei, unless he peeled the shrimp for her, she wouldn't eat them. In another program, Dares publicly thanked Wang Xiaofei, saying he had saved her many times. Whenever she fell ill, Wang was deeply worried. Dares said, "Honey, I'm very grateful to you. You've saved me so many times. Every time I'm sick, you're genuinely concerned, and I'm very thankful." At that time, most netizens could sense the sweetness of their marriage. However, what the cameras captured was only the tip of the iceberg of their real life. After giving birth to their second child, Dares returned to Taipei to recover. She said Beijing's climate was too dry, and the food didn't suit her taste. Although Wang Xiaofei frequently traveled between Taiwan and Beijing, both sides tried to compromise, but the misalignment was evident in every detail of their marriage. Dares revealed that once, when Wang Xiaofei wanted to comfort her during a bad mood, he bought a lot of lamb ribs and prepared a big feast. But Dares, not fond of meat, simply asked, "Can you make me some broccoli instead?" On September 14th, 2020, the media exposed Wang Xiaofei partying with friends at a bar, where he was seen hugging a woman after getting drunk. Wang responded, "Which eye of yours saw my hands? Don't Photoshop me and make up stories." On June 5th, 2021, Taiwan media suddenly reported that Dares and Wang Xiaofei were divorcing. Dares confirmed to the media that they were in the process of divorce. Their 10-year marriage finally came to an end. The two children were to be raised by Dares, with Wang Xiaofei having visitation rights and required to pay child support. In the years that followed, their divorce battle provided ample entertainment for gossip lovers. From child support issues, luxury villas, and the $221,000 Wang Xiaofei invested in Taiwan being deposited into Song Bufan's personal account, currently held by a private entity, to the mattress scandal that left people both laughing and crying. Someone calculated that post-divorce, Dares and Wang Xiaofei went through a total of 18 lawsuits. Only a few months after the divorce, Dares and Jun-yup rekindled their old romance with a phone call. Upon hearing of Dares's divorce, Jun-yup mustered the courage to call the number from over 20 years ago, surprisingly finding it unchanged, and they reconnected. Ku said, "We only have half our lives left. I don't want to miss out anymore," and proposed to Dares, who unexpectedly accepted. They registered their marriage in South Korea on February 8, 2022, announced the news on March 8, and registered in Taiwan on March 28. However, the news of Dares's swift remarriage left Wang Xiaofei unable to sit still. He accused Dares of infidelity during their marriage, claiming she had bought gifts worth 12 million new Taiwan dollars, approximately $400,000, and sent them to South Korea before their divorce. In May 2022, netizens were shocked again when Taiwanese entertainment reporter Ge Siqi released intimate photos of Wang Xiaofei with several women. Although Wang remarried Ma Xiaomei in May 2024, the battle with his ex-wife continued. On March 20th, 2024, Dares posted, "You are the flower in the mirror and the moon on the water, while I walk alone on the flower path." This statement likened their marriage to an illusion for her, choosing to walk forward alone. In her post, she also mentioned, she divorced to vent her anger. She swiped Wang Xiaofei's card several times, but over the years, the amount she lent to him was far greater. Finally, Dar-es said, "After the divorce, you spread rumors and manipulated public opinion to attack me online until now. I must thank you for creating so many difficulties for me to overcome. From now on, I will not respond to the smears you create. I leave it all to the law and justice." At that time, no one could have imagined that just months later, Dar-es would pass away in such a unique way, ending all disputes. Dar-es's sudden death prompted countless netizens to question, Japan is a developed country, theoretically with advanced medical capabilities, so why couldn't they save Dar-es's life? Statistics show that the number of flu cases in Japan is at a record high. This means Japan's healthcare system is under extreme pressure. Many bloggers currently in Japan are advising, if you can avoid coming to Japan right now, please do. The flu in Japan is genuinely severe. Indeed, Japan is experiencing a significant flu outbreak, the worst in a decade. Regarding Dar-es's case, experts suggest that she showed flu symptoms the day she arrived in Japan, January 29th, necessitating antiviral medication within 48 hours. However, Dar-es wasn't diagnosed with the flu until February 2nd, clearly missing the optimal treatment window. On why Dar-es wasn't hospitalized in time, Japanese doctors pointed out that there's a clear difference between the healthcare systems of Japan and Taiwan. First, Japan's healthcare system applies strict tiering. If you're sick, you first go to a small hospital. If they can't treat you, then you're transferred to a larger one. This tiering system, common in many developed countries, can make the healthcare system more efficient by concentrating resources on severe cases. However, its drawback is that for acute conditions, this system can delay treatment. Moreover, hospitals in remote areas like rural Hakone or Hokkaido might lack emergency services or ICU facilities. Second, the general English proficiency among Japanese doctors is low, which can hinder communication with foreign patients, affecting diagnosis and treatment decisions. After Dar-es's death, many Chinese living in Japan shared their experiences online, complaining that getting medical treatment in Japan depends heavily on how tough your connections are. One netizen recounted how, when he had a fever of 40 degrees that wouldn't go down with medication, he called for an ambulance. The result was that the paramedics asked him to climb down to the ambulance himself, and he spent an hour in the ambulance without any hospital accepting him. Eventually, he was taken to Mitetsu Hospital, but was not treated. Instead, he was left there until 9 a.m. the next day, waiting for the pharmacy to open to buy medicine, after which he was sent home. Another netizen described visiting a hospital in Japan due to heart discomfort. After the examination, the doctor sent her home, scheduling a follow-up for the results a week later. But she was already in significant discomfort, and it was a heart issue. Could she really wait a week? After persistent insistence, the doctor reluctantly prescribed her some medication. However, there's also information circulating online from a netizen suggesting that Dar-es's situation shouldn't be blamed on Japan's healthcare system. This netizen mentioned that the emergency department records showed Dar-es's blood oxygen saturation had dropped to 89, with clear wet rails in her lungs. After receiving fever-reducing medication, she insisted on returning to her lodging for monitoring. At 10 a.m. on February 2nd, medical staff suggested transferring her to Tokyo General Hospital, but she refused, citing her already booked return flight. By the afternoon, Dar-es suddenly stopped breathing and was rushed back to the nearest community hospital. At this point, a CT scan showed white lung in both lungs. Dar-es passed away in the early hours of February 2nd. However, the authenticity of this information remains unverified. A respiratory expert noted that if true, a blood oxygen saturation of 89 means the body has entered a state of hypoxia, leading to severe symptoms like brain oxygen deprivation and heart failure, requiring immediate oxygen therapy, possibly with ECMO to save the life. On February 4th, a netizen posted what was believed to be a photo of Dar-es from January 29th in her husband Jun-yup's arms, with a pained expression. If this photo was indeed taken on January 29th, then Dar-S's condition was already very bad at that time, and she and her family should have taken her illness more seriously. Following the incident, many netizens criticized Dar-S's family for not paying enough attention to her health, leading to some conspiracy theories about the cause of her death. Regarding these speculations, we will not make any comments. Dar-S's family members must be the ones suffering and blaming themselves the most at this moment. Online attacks and criticisms cannot turn back time or change anything. Those who are still alive must look forward. Of course, there were netizens who said, "This is all fate, no one can avoid it." 10 years ago, Li Gao publicly stated on a show that he didn't approve of Dar-S's marriage to Wang Xiaofei, also claiming that both Dar-S and Wang's mother, Zhang Lan, were too strong-willed. There are also rumors online that Dar-S once revealed on a show that a fortune teller had predicted she wouldn't live past 50 and that she would have 2 marriages in her lifetime, with the first lasting 10 years. Indeed, if you count from her wedding with Wang Xiaofei, their marriage lasted exactly 10 years. A few years ago, Dar-S unexpectedly married Jun-yup. A Taiwanese astrologer had also commented that Dar-S's fate needed to be nurtured by love, but rushing into another marriage too quickly could bring her new suffering. This part implies that if not handled well, I feel the new marriage might be a mental torment. This astrologer boldly predicted at the time that Dar-S's marriage to Jun-yup would last at most 3 years, meaning it would end in about 3 years, because her current marriage was influenced by her annual fate, which is described as a face angle that prompts this kind of impulsiveness. But once this angle of impulsiveness passes, she would think, "Why was I so impulsive before?" And the time of Dar-S's death was just days before the 3rd anniversary of her marriage to Jun-yup. Dar-S's body was cremated in Japan on February 3rd, and her ashes were flown back to Taiwan from Tokyo's Haneda Airport on February 5th. According to Taiwanese media, Dar-S's ashes were to be kept at home permanently, with the reason being that Xiao-S wanted to see her sister every day, to have conversations with her when she had time, not wanting Dar-S to be lonely in a columbarium. However, according to the latest information on February 7th, keeping the ashes at home had caused dissatisfaction among neighbors, so Xiao-S would choose a day to inter her sister's ashes. Some netizens expressed confusion over why Dar-S's body was cremated so quickly, even suggesting conspiracy theories that her family was afraid of complications if they waited too long. However, those familiar with Japanese laws and regulations know that the government mandates cremation within 24 hours for those who died from infectious diseases like the flu to prevent the spread of the disease. Before Dar-S was cremated, her close friend Jia Yongjie, who was in Japan, was present at the scene to see her off on her final journey. On February 4th, Jia Yongjie posted, "I've seen her, calm and serene, still beautiful as ever, like she's in a deep sleep." On February 3rd, Wang Xiaofei, who was vacationing in Thailand, urgently flew to Taipei. Accompanying him at Taipei Taoyuan Airport was his current wife, Ma Xiaomei. Wang looked haggard in the media's cameras, with red, swollen eyes. He bowed deeply before the reporters, pleading for more positive words about Dar-S. "Please say more good things about her." A netizen who was on the same flight as Wang Xiaofei revealed that he was crying bitterly on the plane. Later, a live video from Zhang Lan on January 2nd circulated online where she was halfway through her speech when Wang Xiaofei suddenly burst in, saying, "It's not good, Barbie is in emergency care." On February 4th, Wang Xiaofei left a message under a video from the variety show Happiness Trio, where he had appeared with Dar-S. "Wife, I miss you." After immediately deleting it, he changed it to, "I miss you so much." He also said, "The one who should have died is me." Regarding this, some netizens commented, "Late affection is cheaper than grass." Others said, "He's already a married man now, he's speaking to the wrong person." Of course, there were those who supported Wang Xiaofei, stating that despite his emotional ups and downs, he was always very concerned when Dar-S was ill. He was the one who knew Dar-S's health condition best. But beyond these emotional entanglements, what truly breaks one's heart is the 2 children Dar-S left behind. Rumors circulated online that due to her poor health, Dar-S had written a will early on, leaving all her assets to her mother and children. However, whether this information is true needs further disclosure. Regarding the guardianship and custody of the children, the famous Taiwanese lawyer Lu Shuye pointed out that according to the law, if the custodial parent dies, custody automatically transfers to the surviving parent. Even if Dar-es had written a different will on this matter, it would not be valid. Lu Shuye explained that if Wang Xiaofei wants to take the underage children away, legally he is allowed to. Even though Dar-es had remarried, since Jun-yup did not adopt the children, legally they are only related by marriage. Originally, Dar-es and Wang Xiaofei had a court case scheduled for February 27th to claim unpaid child support of 7.5 million new Taiwan dollars, over 250,000 US dollars. There's information suggesting that Jun-yup might represent Dar-es in this lawsuit. Still mourning the loss of his wife, Jun-yup spoke out for the first time. He posted a lengthy message in both Chinese and Korean on Instagram, pleading for everyone to stop. Just let Hai Vian rest in peace. In his long post, he expressed that he would leave all rights to Hai Vian's mother, and once again expressed his deep gratitude to everyone who mourned for Hai Vian. He also called out those who criticized his family like demons, which made one wonder, are there really such evil people in this world? Jun-yup also stated that the time spent with Hai Vian was the most precious gift that could never be replaced, and protecting those Hai Vian loved the most would be his final duty. After Dar-es's ashes returned to Taiwan, a blogger posted a video stating that Wang Xiaofei had chartered the private plane. However, through her representative, Xiaoes responded that all arrangements for Dar-es's funeral, including chartering the plane, were handled by the Hsu family. Later, the private jet company issued a statement clarifying that all costs were borne by Xiaoes. Dar-es's representative also clarified 5 rumors. 1. Jun-yup bought a death insurance policy worth 46 million RMB for Hai Vian. This is a rumor. 2. Xiaoes sang and danced to celebrate her sister's impending death. This is a rumor. 3. Xiaoes insisted on keeping her sister's ashes at home to pressure her former brother-in-law to continue paying off the mortgage. This is also a rumor. 4. Wang Xiaofei chartered the plane to bring the ashes back to Taiwan. This is also a rumor. In reality, when Wang Xiaofei saw the media present, he deliberately asked the driver to drop him off first and walked in the rain for 30 minutes. 5. Dar-es's mother believed that her ex-husband was Hai Vian's true love. This is even more of a rumor. In reality, in her mother's eyes, Dar-es's marriage to Jun-yup over the past 3 years was the happiest time in her 48 years of life. It seems that even after Dar-es's death, the conflicts between the Wang and Hsu families might continue for some time. What Dar-es loved most in life was her 2 children. In one program recording, just days after being away from her children, she was moved to tears. In the variety show, after becoming a mother, she said, "Just as I could strive and change for beauty, I could do so 100 times more for my children." She felt that all the efforts and changes she made before to become beautiful could be multiplied by 100 for her children. It's unimaginable how heartbroken Dar-es must have been to leave her children in her final moments. We also hope that the children can inherit their mother's intelligence, courage, and righteousness, facing life optimistically in the future. February 3rd was the start of spring, but Dar-es had passed away on the last day of winter. Looking back at her illustrious life, she was Sam Tai, daring to love and hate; Yi-la, soft on the outside, firm within; Nie Xiaoqian, devoted and persistent; Duan Xiama, cold and proud; the beauty queen, the righteous heroine; a sister, a mother, a wife, a daughter, and the irreplaceable youth in the hearts of countless generations of the 80s and 90s.